Redditors who had someone from real life discover your throwaway. What happened afterwards? I actually caught my girlfriend of almost 2 years cheating on me with my best friend because she wrote about it on a throwaway. Needless to say, we broke up. I found my boyfriend's throwaway years ago. I looked at it and didn't think much of it then because it was just NSW stuff. However, he broke up with me recently because we drifted apart. That was a bull's reason for an 8-year relationship, so I remembered his throwaway and discovered a post he submitted about a moral dilemma he was having. He posted a thread to our relationships about a girl that was pursuing him at work. He needed help resisting her. She won. He cheated. He felt guilty and broke up with me. Thanks for helping me get closure, Reddit. What an butthole. And assuming that she knew about you. What a bee. I hope you found someone better. I posted on our relationships asking for advice on how to deal with my parent and their partner. I was 15 or 16 at the time. At the time it was really bad and I was basically being treated badly, so I was justified. I was at work and decided to check my account during my break. I saw that someone had posted a really long comment, like literally thousands of words long. Before reading, I was like, I guess someone really likes giving advice. I then looked at the poster's username and my heart nearly stopped. Because it was my parents. It was their initials basically. Edit. To be more clear, it was one of my parents. I just don't want to say mother or father to keep it vague. I was like WTFFF and started reading. It was basically saying how I'm grateful I was and how I should be more like my twin sibling, etc. etc. But thousands of words long. I was so confused as to how my post was found. It didn't get front page or anything. Looking back, I think maybe my parent looked through my internet history or something. Anyway, I was also confused as to why they didn't talk to me in real life but decided to comment online. I basically pretended I didn't see it. A few days later, my parent just said to me, I don't exactly remember, but it was something like, I saw your post and you shouldn't post online. No, let's figure your problems out or anything. I deleted the thread after and went through and deleted any other rants about them off my account, but didn't delete the account. I am hoping it was a one-time thing and that I'm not having my posts read through, but I really don't know. In the thread, heaps of people commented on the comment about how they were a terrible parent, so that made me feel better. At the time, I honestly wanted to post the Our Relationships thread to our subreddit drama or our best of because of how freaking unbelievable it was. Just imagine real life parent posts on their child's Our Relationships thread. Even I would be all over that, but decided, hey, maybe that wasn't the best idea, haha. To clarify, I am using this post is talking about only one of my parents and their partner. I just didn't want to make it too identifiable and have a repeat. After this incident, I stopped ranting on Reddit and thus had no way of expressing my feelings about my parental situation. So yeah, thanks. So to everyone using a throwaway, when telling a story, change irrelevant details so that it is much harder to track back to you. I.e., if you have a story about your vacation to California, change it to the Bahamas. Did something embarrassing in 8th grade? Say it happened in 7th. Had a bad professor? Well, the subject they taught is not relevant to your story, but you've never taken physics 3, so say you did. So one time I was visiting the Empire State Building in London. Posted a question to a subreddits. Hero Redditor emails my professor. Academic dishonesty. 0. Failed the course. Cost $2,000 to retake over summer. My username. My schooled name. My schooled name. If that's the best throwaway you can come up with, then you were kinda asking for it to happen. But one time my boyfriend was like, you probably browse our Harvest Moon, our relationships, our Sailor Moon, our Reddit. I don't even look at your Reddit. I don't care if he does, but I know he does because that was spot on. Thank you for making me realize our Harvest Moon exists. I was using a throwaway account primarily for pee purposes. Something non-pee caught my eye one day. Without thinking, I took a screenshot and sent it to some friends I share silly things with on a daily basis. One of the gents in the text thread turned out to be a regular Reddit user. He noticed my username and started going through my saved posts. I received a text the next day from him informing me that he also had a breast milk lactation fetish. It was my wife that found my account on my phone. She asked what the numbers meant and I told her about karma. She now owns that account because it had 14 karma on one comment. I didn't have the heart to tell her that meant jack crap. Not true. Everyone knows sweet delicate karma equates to self-worth and is one of the prerequisites to enlightenment. Slight twist. I discovered my ex's throwaway account and I found out he had cheated on me. We lived together and I frequently borrowed his laptop. After we broke up I remembered the account, searched it hoping I would find a post saying he missed me and wish he didn't break up with me. Instead, I found out he had cheated on me with a ransoms woman while I was on a business trip with, and he was asking how he could get over the guilt. I called him. He confessed. I freaked out and he hung up on me. Additional context. He was unemployed for 4 months after he got fired from a job I got him at my uncle's company, and he didn't pay rent for 2 months. Ultimately, it helped me move on and realize I dodged more bullets than Keanu Reeves. TLDR. Found out my ex cheated on me by discovering his throwaway. He was fired from my uncle's company months before this whole thing for poor job performance. Nothing to do with our relationship. Ultimately, it helped me move on and realize I dodged more bullets than Keanu Reeves. I hope this becomes a common saying because it's so applicable to so many situations. I accidentally Reddit stalked someone from my grad program. Was reading a post and thinking I could offer some advice when I realized the details matched up with someone I knew. I left a vague but specific comment to check and sure enough, I was right. That was the end of it, though I realized I was letting her know my username by doing so. Haha, she never mentioned it afterwards. I left a vague but specific comment. Tell me how that works. Not a throwaway, but I went on my Reddit account once on a friend's phone. Didn't close the tab, and he found my account. He didn't tell anybody else about it thankfully, and then later confessed that he had been looking at some of my activity. Then he told me it would only be fair if I knew his Reddit account and gave me his username. I cut ties with him after a quick search through his history. That kid's a freaking psycho, and the fact that he'd let me see all the crap he has on his account made me note the frick out of there. Dude 1. Hey, Lisko. Are you Liskatori? Me. Yay. Dude 1. Ha. No way. Do you really have those dragons? They're yours? Me. Yay. Dude 2. Reading the linked post. Do you really frick them? Me. Yup. Both guys. Me. Smuggest ninja grin ever. Me. Anyway, let's get on with the meeting. The partner's right size, a go-to-market, well-positioned, motivational and market-altering pipeline, which is why our commitment seamlessly architects a big picture thinking across the board. As a result, flowcharting and dashboard generate the flexibilities. Honestly, as someone who's living on borrowed time, I don't care anymore. Yeah, it's me. Why hide it? I want to live my life in a way I see fit, not how society seems. I have weird fetishes, but I'm not in your face with it. If you went through my post history, it's not my problem if you're shocked. Yet all those furry smut accounts are mine. The furries I know are shocked to see I'm actually a normal person, and the normal persons are shocked to see I'm a furry. I'd never go back to the normal life of what I was 10 years ago. I've been turned down a job offer because of what they found about me on the internet. If an employer cares what I do on my free time, I'd never want to work for them. My current one doesn't care as long as I do my job and suck customers' dongs so dry they bleed money. Apparently I'm now a mod of our how to not jivvy fuck. Wasn't a throwaway account, but my next door neighbor and I figured out each other's accounts after mutually complaining about drunk buttholes outside our apartment on our NYC New Year's Eve. That's hilarious. I found out my friend's Reddit username. I gave him clues to discover mine, so it was even. We both pretty much have social nukes now and can kill each other's popularity in an instant if provoked. Mutually assured destruction. Mortifying. My BF found a post venting about the baggage I was carrying for an ex. He wasn't fazed by it at all and was really cool about it. I felt like a 9-year-old who left their diary on the kitchen table or something. I cringed so hard, I deleted all my other revealing posts on this account, and honestly, it helped bring some closure to what I'd been feeling when I wrote those posts. So it turned out to be a good thing in the end, but at first, when he brought it up, I would rather have jumped out of a moving car onto a bunch of Legos. It was on my normal Reddit account. There was once a thread on RS Reddit about what men like in a woman. I posted that woman with nice long legs are quite attractive. Well, some dong in school once saw my Reddit username on my screen, checked my activity and saw that post. Of course it was the most immature guy in the entire school and he basically told everyone about it. I was ill on that day as well. So now I'm known as that guy who has a leg fetish. Jill, if you're reading this, frick you. Yay. Story time. Okay, it wasn't a throwaway like some other redditors here have said as well, but my actual Reddit account. I was still in the military, trying to separate actually, when I accidentally made a post on the local Air Force subreddit asking for advice. My commander at the time was authorizing a certain number of days I wanted to take leave before I separated. I wanted something like 50 days so I could get home and start college for the summer semester, and unless I got those 50 days I would have to wait another whole semester. When I made this post on the AF page I had also made another post in Argabrus, or Argay, one of them. I don't remember which. So I made a post there as well about Marvel adding more LGBT characters and how happy I was about it. I wasn't out, though I'm less hiding now, but my friend put 2 and 2 together. There weren't a lot of people with the same story as mine in the Air Force who just happened to make the same post on our Air Force. It didn't take long for him to find out I was subscribed to a lot of gay subreddits. A lot. Long story short, he asked me about it. I told him the truth with some reluctance and we remained friends. He's a good guy and I knew he wouldn't have a problem with it, yet sometimes we like it when our private lives remain private, right? If you're lurking here buddy, say hi sometime. I was Army right before DADT got repealed. This post was a roller coaster for me because I instinctively thought it was gonna get a lot uglier than it did. Glad things worked out for you, though. A close friend found my throwaway. Only post on it was one Tannery, NSW. He randomly slipped it in conversation for a few weeks. What in the frick? Posted to Suicide Watch. At the time Chrome kept opening the last page when I opened it after closing the program. So if I was on Pandora and exited Chrome, the next time I opened it, it opened on Pandora. That's how he saw the specific post even after I logged out and closed the browser. He immediately told my mom, who told my dad and stepdad. Everyone freaked out. My mom had me come over so she could cry and tell me how much it would hurt them if I died. Also, they are still giving me crap for not telling them I lost my job, which I mentioned in the post. Mom likes to claim she can't trust me. They text me all the time and my dad constantly wants to know about my debts and income. Not that he'll help. He's busy buying hardwood floors for his 3-floor house and keeping his motorcycle pretty. I ended up in the hospital for a weekish. Still paying that off. But I'm not dead, I suppose. Yay. Not a throwaway, but I've had people I've known IRL recognize my username because it's how I've been signing my emails for years. And nothing bad has come of it. In fact, it's actually been nice catching up with people I haven't talked to in a while. I made a post mentioning IF with my account, not a throwaway, and a guy who goes to my school found out because it was pretty obvious that it was me. He was cool though and didn't tell anyone, and now he PMs me IF every now and then. So, you've either found another furry or a really nice friend. Either way, it seems like a win-win. There was a thread where people asked about unfulfilled carnal fantasies and how it affected your relationship. I listed some pretty crazy crap on a throwaway, and my wife ended up going on Reddit after I posted, and I forgot to sign out. It was mostly stuff like I wanted to do, get really freaking dirty and get really rough, to almost treat her like my dirty little s. Now my wife and I used to be sexually active, but eventually she got really boring. Wouldn't get into it or anything. Seemed like a chore, so I stopped initiating. Well, she went through the post history and saw what I wrote. She didn't really say anything, and later when I went to log on I saw I was logged in still. I figured she didn't see it, but I didn't know at the time if she did or not. She never said anything. A week later I totally forgot about it. I mean, it was a dumb comment, no big deal. But my wife came at me out of nowhere like I was in pee. Never seen her so frisky in my life. We did some stuff that I listed in the comment, but didn't even think of it at the time. The one thing that made it the best is she let me finish in her mouth and she swallowed. She was like a different person in bed. This went on for days and I thought I had a new wife. She seemed way more happy with me and wanted me so bad it was great. I tossed her around, took complete control and made her do what a lot of people would think is degrading, but she loved it and demanded more. It was a dream come true. One day I asked her what happened to make her change, and she eventually told me how she stumbled across the account. At the moment I forgot what account and she explained it to me. She was upset at first when she read she was boring, but what I described in the post really turned her on. She told me as a woman, she loved being told what to do, even if she didn't say it or say they don't and it's rude. She told me honestly, if I sat down and talked to her about it I would have come off as weak and it probably would have disgusted her. Talk about 1 in a million. To this day, our relationship is stronger. I was always taught and told by women some desires would drive a woman away, which is why I never told my wife. But it all worked out. I'm glad things worked out, man. But so much of that sounds all kinds of fricked up. And I'm not talking about the fricking. I struggled with an empty sadness for months almost 2 years ago. I wouldn't say it was depression since I wasn't officially diagnosed, but it sure felt like it. I was bullied at the time and was dealing with family issues. So I made an Instagram account and basically ranted on there about how I wanted to die, lost hope for living and about how my friends all left me. A friend found my account and sent me a private message about how much he appreciated me and to talk to her anytime if I was serious about suicide. The thing that was amazing was that we weren't close friends at all, but she still sent that touching message and never told a soul about what she found. We are somewhat distant now, but I will never forget that. Your friend sounds like someone worth reconnecting with. Wasn't a throwaway, it was this account, but I told my brother who is a redditor that I had a question make it to the front page here without thinking he could easily put 2 and 2 together. Don't have much on here to worry about, so it's whatever if he ever did figure it out. My brother knows mine and I know his. For us it really doesn't matter because we don't cross paths very often and I don't go on anything bad. So I don't really care, he know too. I put a photo on a Cupid that got me to the front page of Reddit. A guy messaged me, "Hey, weren't you on the front page of Reddit?" Yep. We exchanged numbers. I asked if he wanted to go out with me sometime. Long story short, got dong blocked by Reddit. I posted on my main account about Comic Out as B. My friend was going to search through my post, so I deleted it quickly. I don't know if he saw it or not, but this is a big thread, so whatever. If you see this, friend, I just want karma. It's not true. Not really, it's true. Same here. I am only a lurker in these subreddits. This is it. It became my primary. Frick it. Got nothing to hide now. Hey, you. Yeah, you. I know you check my comments from time to time. It's your turn to clean the car, and if I don't get to ride back doors soon, I'm breaking out Big Green. We want a follow-up post, especially if Big Green comes out. Realize no one I know in real life uses Reddit. Also suddenly realize why no one gets my sense of humor. However, I did hear someone talking offhandedly about that very situation and how his mother had kicked him out of the house. Many times. Nothing big, my friends and family just find it funny. The best though is when I've gotten some content to the front page. I then get all sorts of nice messages from people I haven't heard of in forever, like kids I TA'd several years ago and such. Went to high school with a celebrity, talked about what I thought was a secret incident I had with them. Somebody on Reddit said I deleted the account and try not to think about it. I found a guy's throwaway, and I'm too chicken crap to tell him that's why I want to stop seeing him. I met a guy on Reddit a couple weeks ago. I make dumb decisions and decided to get more, involved on the first date than I normally would have. We get along well, he's cute and clever, etc. He tells me about a story he wrote that got gilded, and instead of waiting for him to show me, I just look for it. Turns out, he's written a couple of stories with characters with my name and my distinctive birthmark. I'm a little creeped out, and I think how we feel about each other is dramatically misaligned. Not sure if when to tell him that I know about it, or if I should just keep backing away with I'm not ready to date right now. I don't have a throwaway, and I certainly don't make any attempts to hide my account name from friends. I stand by everything I write, and frick anyone who disagrees or disapproves. Not my throwaway, my main. A friend and I found each other through a fan sub for our favorite show. He was using his Steam name. Nothing much happened. But it was my main account actually. My brother found it and was stalking me for a while on it. He was reporting to my mother everything I was saying. She eventually called me out on it and told my dad. I had already blocked them all on Facebook. Had to delete the account and start a new one. I start a new one every so often to keep the trail cold. Just sick of getting a text or phone call for every post I make. I posted a photo of my engagement ring. I have a very identifiable hand tattoo, and someone messaged me saying, hey, congrats on the engagement, is this name from city that does pastime? If so, it's her name, and we need to get together. She dated a friend of mine a while ago, and we sort of lost touch when they broke up. She's now married to someone else, and we talk once in a while. We're both going through the same marriage struggles, being Canadian with American partners. So we vented about that stuff to each other. I don't like sharing my username because it's silly, and because I don't want to censor myself in case someone I know comes across it. However, I made some awesome friends through Reddit, and they know my username. Which is fine, because Reddit was first, therefore we are weird by definition. Not exactly what you are asking for, Burr. I found my ex-GF's throwaway logged in on my computer. She was subscribed to nothing but fat people hate subs. I also found long messages she would send to Reddit users she thought were overweight, harassing them and calling them obscene names. There was no denying it was her either, because she included descriptions of her physical appearance in some of her hate comments. She was out at a bar with some friends at the time. I called her up and told her we needed to meet right now. Met her outside the bar and broke up with her on the spot. She proceeded to grab me by the collar and scream in my face about how what I saw was none of my business and what happens on Reddit isn't real life. She is much stronger than me and has a history of physical confrontation, so I was genuinely concerned for my safety. She also didn't seem to mind that a lot of people were staring. When I would walk away, she would grab me or block my way and continue screaming at me. I actually had to run away in order to escape her, and if she hadn't been wearing heels she might have caught up with me. Kudos to you for standing firm. I got rid of my old account and made this one after my ex and I broke up over a year ago. She freaking found it and still looks at it periodically. It's creepy as frick. But frick it, I ain't got nothing to hide. Grace. I can only imagine what your old username was. I did an AMA once that had started to gain traction. I gave some very specific details about some morally and legally questionable things my co-workers did on the job. My cell phone rings, and it's one of said co-workers. I had left that job a year prior and had barely spoken to any of them. Crap, they know, so I panic and I delete the whole thread as well as my username and was planning on denying the whole thing ever happened. Turns out he was calling me because another co-worker was getting deployed and he was inviting me to his going away party. Not me, but my wife admitted to cheating on me on a throwaway account. It was with a member of a prominent 90s alternative rock band and a coworker at the same time. And it turned out to be just the tip of the iceberg for a habitual cheating mentality, going all the way back to the beginning of our 5-year relationship. I've been divorced for 3 years now and I couldn't be happier. Told my fiance about my Reddit account. No reason to keep secrets from her. What happened? She had a small heart attack when seeing all the porn I follow. Earthborn, abandoned porn. Basically all of them. We had a good laugh about it. She found out I brag about her a lot more than she thought I did. And we carry on. Sorry for the boring story, but I figure there needs to be at least one positive outcome on here. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.